Hello, hello, I'm back. Welcome to Friday Sews. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my sewing room. Oh my gosh, it's been a long 2 weeks. 2 weeks since I did a Friday Sews, and a lot has happened. Some of you may follow me on social media because I'm on Instagram and Facebook, even though I don't really post very often. Most of the posting I do is here on YouTube, but I did post some of the things that we went through. But before I tell you that tale, and it's quite a story, I just want to talk about my make for the week. It is the baptism gown. It's done. And I don't have it to show you because I mailed it. We are not going to the baptism after all. It was just a call that we had to make at the last minute. And so I overnighted it to my granddaughter. I sent her pictures. She said she loved it, and I hope she gets it. So when I went to the post office on Wednesday to overnight it, they said it might get there Saturday, for all that money. But then if I just sent it express, it would get there Friday. So I sent it. Please. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It was a great, it just turned out great. I'm just super happy with how it turned out. The fabric I had this little scallops that I got to use on both the bodice and the hemline, and it just turned out great. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So it's done, and I'm looking for my next project. I'm not really sure what's next. I just feel like recuperating a little bit from what I've been through this last couple weeks, and let me tell you what happened. So it all started on the 4th of July. So on 3rd of July, we went to fireworks with our friends, and I think I told you we would be the youngest at our one party and the oldest at the next party. So that's what happened. We went to our fireworks party at a friend's house, and it was lovely, and the fireworks were great, and we just had such a good time. And the next day, went to my daughter's for a pool party with her friends, a lot of church families, and so we're the grandparents at that, and we were just enjoying it. We're just sitting around the pool, a bunch of children playing, nice, and we had just served our plates of all this wonderful potluck food, and my son-in-law had smoked some amazing meat on his smoker. He's quite an artist at it, and I had just eaten a piece of chicken, and the phone rang, and my son-in-law was on the phone, and he's all, okay, and we're kind of like, what's that about, like on 4th of July, who's calling you, and why you sound concerned? He hung up the phone and said, look, you guys, and he pointed behind us. There was a big plume of smoke, and the neighbor had called to warn him of a fire. And oh my gosh, I looked at hubby and I go, we gotta go. And hubby's all, okay. So we set down our plates. All I had was that piece of chicken. So we set down our plates, said goodbye to everybody, jumped in our car and went home. And as we're driving home, we could see this amazing plume of smoke in the distance. The roads get closed when that happens, so we wanted to just hurry up and get home and get my doggy and, get prepared for whatever. So we drove home, and watching the news, they were already talking about areas to evacuate. It was so reminiscent. We'd been through a fire before, and this was following the same pattern. So it was called the Electra fire, and when they called out for evacuations, we just didn't hesitate. So we were packing, grabbing all our stuff, putting it in our trailer, and getting our trailer hitched up, and I don't know, it just took forever. And my daughter's all, have you left? And I'm like, we're leaving soon. So we got our hybrid, our old trailer, and got that all packed up for my son and his partner to go put their stuff in. And we hitched that up, and my son had never driven a trailer before. But that's it. He's going to have to drive it if he wants it. So we hooked it up to my older car, Sequoia, to pull it. And we ended up leaving after dark. That's how long it took us to get ready. So we packed our trailer up and we looked at each other and we're like, what now? Where do we go? Like, what are we going to do? And we didn't know. We didn't know what to do. It was just like, we've got this trailer. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? So we decided to call some RV parks, and I'm like, it's after hours. No one's going to answer. We've been camping before. We know that after hours, there's like an emergency number if you're there, but no one's going to answer. So I said, well, we could go to this one, but I thought that's too close. The fire could still get there. So I said, the other side of the county, near our fairgrounds, is far enough out of the way. Let's try there. And I said, maybe we'll just go there and look for the number and park overnight in the parking lot and just see if we can get in. And hubby says, let's just call. So he calls and a lady answered. She answered the phone. And he said, we're in this evacuation and we just don't know where to go. Do you have any openings? And she said, come here. Just like that, just come here. And I said, she could hear because it was speaker. I said, well, it's going to take us a while to get there. We have to go around the long ways because the road's closed. And she said, just come here. She said that. So we're like, okay, we know where we're going now. So we're like, oh my gosh. So we started to drive and oh my gosh, something was wrong with the brakes on the trailer. They kept freezing up. And for the first time ever, probably since I've known him, my hubby said, I don't know what's wrong. He got it fixed and we just kept going. And so we're in the dark of the night and we're going down this tiny little road that we live on. And there's just one after another of big, huge horse trailers. And they're just going up. We're going out and they're coming in. God bless them. There's these people that at the drop of a hat, they just get in their trucks and go rescue animals, you guys. And then there's a ranch that takes them, and the fairgrounds took them too. And then there's volunteers who go take care of any kind of animal. It's not just horses, and they have to go catch them. It's crazy. So that was going past us, and we got out, and we got all the way to this RV park. It took us, like an hour and a half to get there. That lady was sitting there waiting for us at midnight, and I almost cry every time I tell this story. She sat there until midnight waiting for us. The 49er RV park in Plymouth, California. They deserve all the kudos. She waited for us. She told us where to go park. We said, our son's behind us. Can he sit next to us? She said, absolutely, just have him pull in. And we're like, do you want our credit card? No. We'll figure this out later. Just go, get situated. And we set up. And my son showed up. He drove that trailer for the first time ever all the way there. I mean, I was just so proud of him. So we set him up and we set us up and it was amazing. It was amazing. And so we were at the cafe getting a sandwich the next day and the lady was talking about how their maintenance guy came in off duty after hours and cleaned every cabin in their RV park just in case more refugees needed a place to stay. And just awesome because they had full hookups. We had our trailer with all our most valuable items. Hopefully, you just never know, but we thought we had everything. And we had full hookups, electricity, the whole thing. And we were very comfortable. So, we watched the news and we watched the fire. And meanwhile, my daughter is preparing to evacuate. She's in a whole different place. And their power went out. And the power is out for 4 days and they have no water when there's no power. It's just horrible. So everybody's suffering and people are getting evacuated left and right. All my neighbors have left, and we're just actually very comfortable. It almost felt like a little forced vacation. If it wasn't so scary, the idea that, fire was heading towards our house, it would have been a nice little trip there. And a place we would have never camped because it's really just too close to home. But God bless those firefighters. They held the line. They made a line. Coming up the mountain, there's a area where there's no trees and then there's trees. And they just saturated that line so that it just never came past. And just God bless them. They just really threw everything they had at it. And I've heard so many different people say, wow, this was just really amazing. The fire we had before, about 5 or 6, 7 years ago, was devastating. Let me just show you the overlay of the map where we had the fire before and where this one got stopped. Amazing, right? Now, last summer, you recall we didn't get to take our camping trip because up country there was a huge fire. That was the Caldor fire. We were at this RV park and the lady said, all the campers on the outside edges of the park are permanent and they're all from the Caldor fire. Lost everything. So they were so accommodating to us. They had those spots set so that we could stay as long as we needed to. They weren't going to be saying move here, move there. They just set it up. So just wow. Just wow. But as soon as they opened it up, we went home. And it was just, oh, so nice to get home. Just so nice to get home. And, you know, I feel like it was just a show of the humanity of our community. Everybody just wanted to help everybody. You know, our church opened their parking lot. People were offering free food. Like restaurants were saying, it doesn't matter why, just come get some free food. There were town halls near here that were saying, we're cooking pans of lasagna. For whatever reason you want, come get one. You have to prove you were evacuated or anything. Just come eat. The VFW hall was feeding people. It was just amazing. It was really just amazing. So we got home and, you know, we're still kind of getting things organized. You know, once you've kind of just ravaged your house looking for all your valuables and trying to decide what matters most. I highly recommend that you make a list of what matters most so that you just know right what to go for. And we did really good. I felt like I didn't really have any regrets when we got to where we were, and I'm just sitting there thinking, well, did I forget anything? I really just had no regrets. So I felt really good, probably because I've already done this before. And the last time when we had our first fire, we weren't evacuated when we evacuated. We evacuated, but we could still come home. So we came back like 4 times and got more stuff. It was crazy. This time we had the trailer, and we just put everything in there, and you know, it held a lot. And if I had to live in my trailer, I would be happy in there. It was lovely. But of course, you know, I wouldn't want to lose my home. And did I take my sewing machines? I know you're going to ask me, but I didn't. I thought about coming back for them, but, you know, it's kind of like, I didn't feel like doing anything but just sitting there hoping to go home. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's what we did. And, you know, my son and his partner were there, and we had dinner together, and we played some dominoes, and you know, we just made the best of it. We really made the best of it. And so I got home and I immediately jumped in and made that baptism dress. And now it's over and I can breathe. The dress is done, the fire's out, and I can breathe. And now I'm just kind of thinking, what do I want to do next? Hubby has lost a lot of business time because, you know, he had to do all of that, and so he hasn't been able to work on my pattern. But because we're not going on this trip to the baptism, I think he'll take some time to maybe finish it up. I hope. That would be awesome, because that would be my one goal to make my next project. But I am going to go through my patterns and my fabrics and just pick something fun. I want to pick something fun to make. Now, I'm wearing one of my favorite patterns, and I'm going to put it up in the, I don't have it. I'm going to put a picture of it because I love this pattern. It is so fun to wear. It's super comfy, and it has a little bra shelf. And somebody was asking me in the comments, could you wear it without a bra? And I thought, well, heck no. But I am wearing it without a bra because it's so dang hot right now. That's the last thing I want to be wearing. And you know what? It's super comfortable. So the answer is probably yes. Try it and see. So anywho, do you say that? Anywho? That is it. You are now caught up. I just want to check and see if I left anything important out because I made a list. Okay, I checked my list. I told you everything, the whole story. But I want to leave you with my garden. What a shock. I actually have food out of my garden. Real food that I eat. I've already eaten a whole big piece of squash. And I had to Google when to pick because I let it get too big, and it said don't do that. So the next time I will get them at the right size. But it was delicious. And so I went down and picked another squash. I picked a cucumber. And this morning I found a secret zucchini I didn't even know was there. It was just underneath the leaves. So I've got to be more diligent about looking. But I have a bounty of stuff out of my garden to eat, real food. Shocking! I'm loving it. It's really cool. I can't wait for my cherry tomatoes, but I thought I would take you on a little tour of the garden in our closing so you can see where we're at with it. And thanks for all your support on that, you guys. But I'm just shocked. My first food out of a garden that I actually grew. And it's amazing to me. It's just growing like crazy. I'm going to have so much squash, I'm going to have to beg people to eat it. It's a lot. And I only put a couple plants in. Just like 3. And it's boom, they're just everywhere. So that's pretty cool. And I hope that you are having a wonderful weekend. And I want to say thank you because I was so just blessed by how many people reached out to me. Some of you knew from my posting what I was going through and were really just so supportive. And I even had people reach out and say, I miss you, without knowing where I was or why I wasn't posting on YouTube. And it's just like, just how lucky am I to have that? It just like meant so much. Thank you so much for that, reaching out to me. That was just so wonderful. And thank you for the prayers. Our whole community thanks you for the prayers. We dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet, and we're all so grateful, just so grateful because this could have been so much worse, and it really came out great. And the fire's out, and it's really the least amount of damage possible, seriously. And so thank you again. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be back, and I'm ready to get cracking again, get rolling again, get back on track again. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my channel. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye now.